Srila Prabhupada ki Go Premanandi. All glories to the symbol devotees. All glories to symbol devotees. All glories to symbol devotees. All glories to Guru and Guru Ranga.
Hare Krishna.
Sweet Srila Prabhupada. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
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 Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
So we're going to read from Bhagavad Gita as it is, chapter 15, text number 15. It's called the Yoga of the Supreme Person, or sometimes also called Purushottam Yoga. Chapter 15 chapter, very, very interesting, very, very influential, confidential, informative, understand the signs of God and who is God. Okay, we'll read. Sarvasya cha aham Ridi Sanivishta Mata Smriti Jnanam Apohanam Cha Vedhai Cha Sarvai Aham Eva Vidya Vedanta Krit Vedanta Vedavid Vedavid Eva Cha Aham Sarvasya Chaham Redi Sanivishto. Everyone? Chaham Redi Sanivishto. Sarvasya Chaham Redi Sanivishto. Matasmiti Jnanam Apohanam Cha. Jnanam Apohanam Cha. Vedaischa Sarvai Aham Eva Vidyo. Vedaischa Sarvai Aham Eva Vidyo. Vedanta Krit Veda Vid Eva Chaham. Vedanta Krit Veda Vid Eva Chaham. Sarvasya Chaham Redi Sanivishto.
Sarvasya Chaham Redi Sanivishto.
Matasmiti Jnanam Apohanam Cha.
Matasmiti Jnanam Apohanam Cha.
Vedaischa Sarvaram Eva Vidyo.
Vedaischa Sarvaram Eva Vidyo.
Vedanta Krit Veda Vid Eva Chaham.
Vedanta Krit Veda Vid Eva Chaham.
Anybody wants to read?
Sarvasya Chaham Redi Sanivishto.
Sarvasya Chaham Redi Sanivishto.
Matahasmiti Jnanam Apoham Cha.
Matasmiti Jnanam Apohanam Cha.
Vidaisha Sarvai Aham Eva Vidyo.
Vedaischa Sarvaram Eva Vidyo.
Vedanta Krit Veda Vid Eva Chaham.
Vedanta Krit Veda Vid Eva Chaham. Sarvasya, all living beings. Cha, and Aham, I, Ridi, in the heart. Shani Vishta, situated. Mata, from me. Smriti, remembrance. Jnanam, knowledge. Apohanam, forgetfulness. Cha, and Vedhai, by the Vedas. Cha, also. Sarvai, all. Aham, I am. Eva, certainly. Vidya, knowable. Vedanta Krit, the compiler of the Vedanta. Vedavid, the knower of the Vedas. Eva, certainly. Cha, and Aham, I. I am the, reading the translation and purport. I am seated in everyone's heart, and from me come remembrance, knowledge, and forgetfulness. By all the Vedas I am to be known. Indeed, I am the compiler of Vedanta, and I am the knower of the Vedas. If we repeat responsibly, I am seated in everyone's heart. And from me comes remembrance, knowledge, and forgetfulness. By all the Vedas, I am to be known. Indeed, I am the compiler of Vedanta,
I am the compiler of Vedas.
And I am the knower of the Vedas.
And I am the knower of the Vedas.
Purport by His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhakti Vedanta. Srila Prabhupada ki. The Supreme Lord is situated as Paramatma in everyone's heart. And it is from Him that all activities are initiated. The living entity forgets everything in his past life, but he has to act according to the direction of the Supreme Lord, who is witness to all his work. Therefore, he begins his work according to his past deeds. Required knowledge is supplied to him, and remembrance is given to him. And he forgets also about his past life. Thus, the Lord is not only all-pervading, he is also localized in every individual heart. He awards the different fruitive results. He is worshipable not only as the impersonal Brahman, the Supreme Person of Godhead, and the localized Paramatma, but as the form of the incarnation of the Vedas as well. The Vedas give the right direction to people so that they can properly mold their lives and come back to Godhead, back to home. The Vedas offer knowledge of the Supreme Person of Godhead, Krishna. And Krishna in his incarnation as Vyasdev is the compiler of the Vedanta Sutra. The commentation on the Vedanta Sutra by Vyasdev in the Srimad Bhagavatam gives a real understanding of Vedanta Sutra. The Supreme Lord is so full that for the deliverance of the conditioned soul is the supply and digester foodstuff, the witness of his activity, and the giver of knowledge in the form of the Vedas, and as the Supreme of God as Sri Krishna, the teacher of the Bhagavad Gita. He is worshipable by the conditioned soul. Thus God is all good. God is all merciful. Anta pravishta shasta jananam. The living entity forgets as soon as he quits his present body, but he begins his work again, initiated by the Supreme Lord. Although he forgets, the Lord gives him the intelligence to renew his work where he ended his last life. So not only does the living entity enjoy or suffer in this world according to the dictation of the Supreme Lord, situated locally in the heart, but he receives the opportunity to understand the Vedas from him. If one is serious about understanding the Vedic knowledge, then Krishna gives the required intelligence. Why does he present the Vedic knowledge for understanding? Because the living entity individually needs to understand Krishna. Vedic literature confirms this. Yo so sarvai vedai giyate. In all Vedic literature, beginning from the four Vedas, Vedanta Sutra, and the Upanishads, the Puranas, the glories of the Supreme Lord is celebrated. By performance of Vedic rituals, discussion of the Vedic philosophy, and worship of the Lord in devotional service, he is attained. Therefore, the purpose of the Vedas is to understand Krishna. The Vedas give us direction by which to understand Krishna and the process of realizing it. The ultimate goal is the Supreme Person of Godhead. Vedanta Sutra 114 confirms this in the following words: Tattu Samanyavat. One can attain perfection in 3 stages. By understanding Vedic literature, one can understand his relationship with the Supreme Person of Godhead. By performing different processes, one can approach him. At the end, one can attain the Supreme Goal, who is no other than the Supreme Personality of Godhead. In this verse, the purpose of the Vedas, the understanding of the Vedas, and the goal of the Vedas are clearly defined. Om Jnana Timirandasya Gyananjana Shalakaya Chaksharumalitam Jena Tasmai Sri Guruve Namaha Sri Chaitanya Mano Mishtam Stapitam Jena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Gadamaya Tadati Swa Padantikam Vandeham Sri Guru Sri Yutam Padakamalam Sri Gurun Vaishnavamscha Sri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunath Anvitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Saitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Sri Radha Krishna Padam Sahagana Lalita Sri Vishakhan Vitamscha Hey Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dina Bandhu Jagatpate Gopisha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostate Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi, Radhe Vrindaveshwari, Vrishabhanu Sute, Pranamami Hari Priya, Vanchakalpa Tarubhyascha, Kripa Sindhu Vyahemacha, Patitanam Pavebhyo, Vaishnavabhyo, Namo Namaha. Sri Krishna Chaitanya, Prabhu Nityananda, Sri Advaita Gadadhara, Srivasadi Gaura Bhakta-vrinda. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. The Prabhupada in the purport, especially towards the end of the purport, he mentions how the Vedas is a three-pronged move that throughout in all Vedic knowledge, it kind of balances out into this three-pronged way that is one's understanding. One is to understand his relationship with God, understanding our relationship, and that is called, anybody know what's that? Sambandha. See? Sambandha means understanding our relationship. Sambandha. Sambandha. Abhideya means the process of how to understand. What is the process? After understanding your relationship, what is the process? Isn't it? And the process is by engaging in devotional activities, the process. And prayojan, the goal of all the Vedas is to go to Krishna or remember Krishna. Like the Vedas. Ante Narayana Smriti. Ante means at the end. We must remember Narayana, Krishna, same person. Narayan, Vishnu. To remember God. That is the goal. Prayojan. So this three-pronged is in all the Vedas this is given like that. Knowledge that influences us to take these three paths or to understand this three-pronged of how to attain love of God. So first understanding that God to different beliefs or to different transcendentalists. There's different types of transcendentalists. And to how they understand God, then God appears like that to them. And the Vedas mention these three, like the Bhagavatam mentions, these three understandings of God. Of God is in three features. Vadanti Tattva Vidas, Brahmeti Paramatmeti, Bhagavan iti Sapyate. What's it? Brahmeti Paramatmeti, like here he's speaking about. The Lord is situated in Jnana. How is he situated in Jnana? In what feature? Yes, I am situated in everyone's heart as Paramatma, Super Soul. So in that feature, he's localized, he's in our heart. We understand that. And he's facilitating our desires. At the same time, he's fulfilling our desires. Whether it's good or bad, he's fulfilling everyone's desires as the personality, because he understands. If anybody can understand you, it's only that personality that's there, isn't it? I don't know I'm not in your body. You don't know the pains and pleasures of my body, but God is in everybody, isn't it? So, as super soul, so He knows the pains and pleasures and the desires of every living entity. Sarvasya Chamam, Ridi Sani Vishtu, Sarvasya Chaham, I'm seated in everyone's heart. He's saying like that. Yeah. And from me comes, what he says? Remembrance. Yes. Smata. Mata Smiti. Smiti means remembrance. Smiti, Jnanam, knowledge. Apohanam cha, forgetfulness. So even to forget God, he helps you to forget Him also. He helps you to remember Him. He helps you to also to forget Him. Yes. So, yeah, before we come into Greek, we didn't know about, isn't it? Maybe vaguely we may heard from, we may speculate about who is God. Yeah, it was the mental speculation. Or there's so many gods. Isn't all our gods? Isn't we grew up in that culture, Hinduism, isn't many gods. But yeah, he's given the actual Bhagavad Gita gives us the concise truth. Is it the absolute truth? Who is the personality of Godhead? The Supreme Personality. And how he's interacting with different entities according to their desires, according to the realizations of Him. So some people may have realization of God as just some light. God is just light. They can't conceive of Him having a form. How can God have a form? They say we're limiting. They say like that, God, human form. But He comes, He says, I come. Nara, I come in my His pastime, the Nara Leela, like human-like. Nara, Leela. Nara means human. Leela is pastimes. They're almost like taking birth like a baby, and enacting pastimes like a human being, fighting demons, coming in different avatars as Ramachandra as a human, the human form of life. So sometimes the mental speculators or those atheists, they may say, God, this can't be God. No, but the devotee, he appreciates every aspect. He appreciates the effulgence, that light is also the effulgence of God. It's saying that effulgence that's emanating, that they're attracted to, is the reflection of the Supreme. Yes. So, but at least they have one that is there, that appreciation of that, which is a partial truth, it's not the ultimate truth. And then the other party, the other scholars, they only know God in the heart. They cannot conceive of any other. And then the other more complete student, he understands God as a personality. And he's localized, and he's everywhere, and is what's the word I'm thinking of? His energies, or his shaktis, and they are permeating everywhere, isn't it? We can see, and he makes it clear in the 10th chapter, how to perceive him in different of his shaktis. I am the tasting water. I am the light of the sun. I am the light of the moon. I am the fire of digestion. In this chapter, he discusses that. One verse before this. I am the fire that. If there's no fire, what will happen? You'll be sick all the time. You'll have indigestion. But here he's saying, I am the fire of digestion. So this is how he is manifesting himself in so many ways. I am the fire of digestion. So Veda, what does Veda mean? What's your understanding of when you say Veda? Yes? Veda?
To know knowledge. Knowledge.
Yes, knowledge. Veda means knowledge. Veda means knowledge. And the Vedas are very different aspects of the Vedas things being discussed. Vedanta Sutra is a commentary on the Srimad Bhagavatam, which Vyasdev, Prabhupada mentioned. Vyasdev is also a literary incarnation of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. And he compiled the Vedas, he compiled or he divided the Vedas also, into Sama Veda, Yajur Veda, Atharva Veda, Rig Veda, then the Mahabharata, which is the fifth Veda, the Mahabharata, and which Mahabharata, the Bhagavad Gita is the jewel of the Mahabharata. Mahabharata is 100,000 verses, 100? That's the longest poem in the Guinness Book of Records. The longest poem. It's a poem. It's like recorded as one of the longest poems. 100,000 verses. And within 100,000 verses, there's how many verses in Bhagavad Gita? 7? Yeah, about 7 verses. This is the jewel. It's considered the jewel. As Krishna spoke just before the battle of the Mahabharata, battle, the war, the great war. He spoke Bhagavad Gita to make Arjuna see reason why he should fight. As Krishna spoke these verses, or these slokas, just to incite Arjuna, to incite him to fight. So that Arjuna is in a state of melancholy, we say, like a conditioned soul, he's acting like that. And Krishna has put him in such situation so that he could speak this Bhagavad Gita, to act like an ordinary. Arjuna is to sit with Krishna, he can't be a Tom, Dick or Harry, he must be a very special. What's our relationship with Krishna? He's a friend, Sakhi. He's a Sakhi. Yes. And Krishna won't just speak about to any Tom, Dick and Harry, he'll speak to somebody who's close. Isn't it? Therefore his knowledge is described as in 9th chapter, Raja Vidya, Raja Guyam. Raja Vidya is the king of education. Raja Vidya. Raja Guyam, it is very confidential. Will you speak some confidence to anybody, to a stranger? No. You speak somebody that's close to you. So therefore it's very confidential knowledge. And Prabhupada says, like modern day universities, they have faculties for sociology and whatever you study in university. What else there? Sociology, politics. What else? What else is studying?
Law, mathematics.
Law, mathematics,
Philosophy.
philosophy.
Optometry.
What?
Optometry.
Optometry. What else?
Trade. What about trade?
Trade.
Engineering.
Trade school.
Yeah, engineering, yes.
Public relations.
What?
Public relations.
Yes, public relations. He says, you have faculty for so many things. But where is the faculty to study the science of the soul? Which universities is studying that? He says, what would all that knowledge? It's useless if you don't know who you are. all at getting that PhD or MAD or whatever. It's useless if you don't know who you are. So this is knowledge. This is understanding who you are and our relationship. This is Sambandha Gyan, it's called. Sambandha Gyan, understanding. So Bhagavad Gita is, all these point to that, as I mentioned earlier on. These three pronged of our understanding, our relationship, our process of engaging in devotional service, and our goal. Every human being must understand that. Otherwise, it's like an animal. If you're not understanding this, then you are an animal. You are an animal. Yeah. Animals cannot, what's the word? They cannot understand, higher consciousness. They have limited consciousness. Although the soul is also present, Paramatma is also present there, in every living entity. It's there. But the human being has something different. That he can understand things more clearly. And he has a higher nature. And his nature is that he can come to the point of understanding himself and understanding higher. But the animal cannot. Animal, if you tell them, do you know God? You know to bark or meow or make some animal noises. But they live by instinct, their material nature. They come under material nature. But human beings are above that, or they're meant to be above that. And if they don't come to that understanding, then they're no better than the animals. And that is the difference. Therefore, this knowledge is so important for us to assimilate. Because this is revealed, it is by revelation. By revelation we can see Krishna, we can see how is he acting, we can perceive that by perception. Because these verses, they have this propensity to purify us. They're not just some mundane novel that you read every day, some Shakespearean novel or some. No, this is revealed scripture. Means it is aparosaya. Aparosaya means beyond our human understanding. It's beyond human. Yeah. But somehow by the mercy, he has allowed us. Because he says, from me, he's given us the intelligence. He's given us the memory to understand these things. And he also, he makes us forget. Imagine in your past life you were some terrible person. Or you were an animal body or a ghastly kind of. You want to remember that? No, so he makes us forget. Because we've come from different, not that we evolved from animals, no. Our consciousness evolved. Evolution of consciousness from lower species to the human species of life. But that's all through the mercy of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. By His mercy. And because He's in our heart, He knows our desires. He knows our desires. And He fulfills it. What are the functions of the super soul? He sanctions everything. He's a sanctioner. At the same time, he's neutral. He doesn't, whether you're desiring something good or desiring something bad, he's not. He's just fulfilling everyone's desires. Because ultimately, you're facing your own. You will face them by your desire, your independent desire. So whether it's good or bad, it's your problem. You can't blame God. You don't blame God for your suffering or your enjoyment. No, it's nothing to do with God. God doesn't. He doesn't fulfill our material needs. No. It's not God. We desire, and by our good karma. But at the same time, karma is also not, your karma is not decision of God either. We create our own karma by our action. We sow seeds. Isn't it? Whatever we do, we sow a seed. And that seed sprouts, whether it's a sinful seed or a fruitful seed, it will germinate and become fruitful. Prirabdha karma, like that. So our suffering is like it's very deep. Understanding karma is also very deep. Karma is not just cut and dry. No, it's very, very different types of suffering is there. Because, as I said, the moment we action, we sow a seed and that seed will grow. It will grow and bear fruit. Isn't it? So whether we're suffering, enjoying, it's the fruits of our previous endeavors. Understand? Sometimes they lie in stock, waiting to manifest. But as we live our life in material life, we are creating more and more. So that's how karma becomes very intricate, very complex, very difficult to understand. Krishna is saying, the intrics of karma are very, very difficult. It's so complex. It's very, very complex. In the 9th chapter, Prabhupada, in that verse, he says, Aprarabdha phalam papam kutam bijam phalam mukham kamaneva praliyata Vishnu bhakti tatmanam, from the Padma Purana. Aprarabdha phalam papam kutam bijam phalam mukham kamaneva praliyata Vishnu bhakti Rathatmanam. So this is the different types of suffering is there. But the moment we engage in devotional service, in the nectar of devotion, and this is the 6 of devotional service. The 6. What should I say? What's the word? Or positive things about devotional services. One of them is, one becomes free from material life, from suffering actually. He feels the tangible change, isn't it? We chant Hare Krishna and there's some tangible change, isn't it? For a time we chant and associate with devotees, we feel a kind of, that's how thing is lessening, our suffering is lessening. So this is one of those transformations of the 6 of devotional service. It curtails our suffering. We feel a kind, brings relief actually from material suffering, brings relief. And we can all attest to that, isn't it? When we material life, condition life, actually suffering is a suffering condition. But when you're in that, you can't see it, you think, oh, life is great, isn't it? Like there was a cigarette ad, big billboard says, there was a cigarette called Life Cigarettes, remember? Life Cigarettes? And big writing, life is great. And the guy smoking and thinking, yeah, this is great, life is great. But we know the repercussions of that isn't empty. Tasting all these things, we know it is suffering. But in conditioned life, in forgetfulness, we think, yeah, this is the false sense of enjoyment. Kind of deludes us into false happiness. Ahankar means false ego is dominating us. Is influencing all our lifestyle. And yeah, we think, yeah, life is, we forget who we are, we forget who is God, we forget Krishna. And we think, yes, we are great. And everything we think, yes, I, in terms of I, me and mine. I, me and mine. I did it by my efforts. Take all the accolades or whatever, the praise of it. But no, that's all delusional, so false. Because we know the material world is like that, isn't it? One day you'll be praised, one day they want to criticize you, isn't it? It's like that. You see in politics, one day they will vote for some person and bring him up there. And after 4 terms, for his full term, they want to, isn't they'll write all bad things, paint, put all his laundry out, and defame him. So these are all a false sense of security, false. So unless we have this knowledge, isn't it, that can take us out of the material realm and put us on the spiritual platform. While living in the material world, we have to transcend. So only that knowledge, only this knowledge can do that. Raja Vidya, that knowledge is key. Therefore, it's considered is regarded as the king of knowledge, king of education. Because this only can take us, can transcend us out of this material world, liberate you from this material tabernacle. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.